All right, what is going on, my dudes? We are back here today with the final week of this cycle of Eternity of Pain. This one's going to be Scorpion. This guy, he was a little rough, man. He was a little rough. We're going to jump into a nice little top 10 list today. And of course, as always, I want to give out the disclaimer, especially today, that it is 100% okay if you don't solo this guy. You're going to be seeing lots of solos on YouTube, on Discord, online, on all of the apps. You're going to see it on Twitter. You're probably going to see it on MySpace even. Everyone still goes on MySpace, right? So don't worry about those solos. It's totally fine. You do not have to solo this guy or any endgame boss whatsoever. These fights are supposed to be very, very hard, and this one absolutely checks off that objective. So let's start jumping into it today with number 10, which is actually going to be many different offensive damage over time champions. Now, the three objectives are offensive damage over time, Robot, and Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is especially hard. Robot is a little restrictive, but offensive damage over time, there are many, many champions in the pool, and you definitely, I'm going to say definitely, have at least one ranked up. So this here is the pool of offensive damage over time champions. Now, looking at this group of champions, there are certainly quite a few who could do this fight very effectively, right? Who people may not have even tried yet. For example, Star-Lord, Hawkeye, Black Panther, right? You have both Magnetos, you have X-23, Red Hulk, Gwenpool, Archangel, you have Mcoc, you have Omega Red, you have Nick Fury, Human Torch for the pre-fight, you have Ronin, you have Apocalypse, you have maybe even possibly Mojo, probably not. You have Squirrel Girl, Doctor Doom, Warlock, Mysterio, Jabari Panther, Gore even. Rintra, love him, not going to be great for this fight. Omega Sentinel, Sauron, Toad, Kraven, maybe Penny Parker, right? Lots of champions who could potentially do this and just play into the nodes, right? Or get to special 3 and not use any special attacks. So before we continue going on, let's talk about the nodes on this guy, how you want to fight him, and different strategies to do. So when you parry him, you are going to get a power gain buff on you, okay? That's going to give you a lot of power. Now, when you pass a bar of power, you have, I think, 15 seconds or so to use a special attack, or else you take a big burst of damage. Now, you also can't use a special 3, or else you take a big burst of damage for getting to 0 bars of power. You lose 50% of your health if you don't use a special attack in the allotted time period, and if you use 2 special attacks 2 times in a row, you're going to get a petrified debuff on you. Now, when you parry and you get the power gain on you, you'll have the petrify on you. You're going to be losing that power gain. It's going to be pretty rough, man. So that's why a decent strategy to go through is to get to special 3, not use any special attacks, and just fight him like that. All right. Also, there are other nodes as well. Like there's a node where a helpful node that you get additional hits to your combo meter by doing critical hits, and that way you can counter this guy easy and avoid his Scorpion Sense. You always have to watch out for his Scorpion Sense. He gains his Scorpion Sense every 20 seconds, I believe, unless you get to 20 hits on your combo meter or whenever you use a special attack. So champions who reduce ability accuracy, you're going to have a really good time in this fight. So for number 10, many offensive damage over time champions can work. Use your best one ranked up and you're probably going to have a good time with it. So moving on, we have a Thunderbolt, Red Hulk, who is also an offensive damage over time champion. Now, if you have a rank 3 Red Hulk, he's definitely going to do well here. I do recommend you get to special 3. Red Hulk is not poison immune, but he like purifies it, right? Or he does whatever he does with it. You don't have to worry about the poison damage from Red Hulk special 1, from Scorpion special 1. He's also very tanky. So you get to special 3, you do some damage, probably going to take like a revive or 2 just do to block damage, all the other stuff. You know, the thing is, with the way the nodes work, it's not my favorite type of design here, but basically you get to the special 3, right? And then you just have to take that big burst of 50% damage, and from there on out, you're playing with half a health bar. But that's essentially one strategy to go about doing that. So champions with regen are also going to have a good time. Brings us to option number 8, and that is going to be X-23. Now, unfortunately, like myself, many people do not have X-23 ranked up, so I was using a 6-star rank 1, and at the end of the day, you know, it's a little rough here using her because her block efficiency isn't high in the first place, and you have yours not ranked up, it's going to be even lower. The challenge rating difference is going to be very high. You're going to be taking more block damage, and you literally have to parry this guy if he turtles up and doesn't use his special attacks. So you have to, so he's going to get his Scorpion Sense, because if he evades you, you're pretty much dead, especially using rank 1. So even with the regeneration, right, the block damage was a lot to overcome, man. I believe MSD put out a 10-minute solo of a 5-star ranked up X-23 doing this. So it's definitely possible. She fits the Thunderbolt and the damage over time objectives. Probably the best option for the Thunderbolt objective, I would say, if you happen to have her ranked up, but most people just probably don't. But yeah, Let's move on here for a robot. Speaking of MSD, he also uploaded the Guillotine 2099 solo. It took about 3 minutes. She definitely did a very nice job. The strategy is over on his channel. So Guillotine 2099 fits the robot objective. I don't believe she is a offensive damage over time champion. No, she is not. Okay, we did not leave her off there. So yeah, obviously robots, many people have a lot of robots ranked up. You need to have robots ranked up. If you don't have any robots ranked up, this is a great opportunity to do so. I don't recommend you rank up X23 for this, but rank up a specific robot who might be helpful for you could be a good idea. So speaking of that, number 6 is Ultron. Ultron is going to benefit very highly from that node that reduces your health by 50%, because what happens when you get to 50% health? Well, you get a nice big stack of regen, and same thing at 25% health. So Ultron definitely going to do a really solid job here, and when you crit, which Ultron has guaranteed crits, you're going to be reducing the amount of hits needed to get rid of the Scorpion sense from triggering on Scorpion. So overall, Ultron just going to be a very solid option for this fight. Plus, of course, he's poison immune, right? And Scorpion is not going to be bleed immune. So Ultron is going to be a good option for this fight in general. Yeah, so Ultron's gonna be decent. Moving on, like I said, X23 I think is the best option for Thunderbolts. However, the most accessible option that many people have ranked up, we have Juggernaut. Now, Juggernaut's really good for it. I was using a 5-star rank 4, got him down to like 85% in a few goes, just like going for like one special 2 if part of it crits, takes him down at least like 90%. So if you have like a 6-star rank 3 Juggernaut after the buff, it's gonna be your best option for Thunderbolt, man. He's gonna do a really solid job. X23, you know, has that regeneration, which is nice, but Juggernaut, man, he can definitely do a lot of damage. You know, can he solo? Maybe, but I recommend, like I said, you don't need to solo. I would say if you're going to be reviving with anybody, I think Juggernaut is the way to go. It's going to be very fast. Get the special to do a big special 2. With a rank 3 Juggernaut, it's probably going to take like 2 to 3 goes, maybe three or 4 goes. But yeah, it's a really rough objective, the Thunderbolt one, man. But moving on to some like actually good options now. We have Warlock. Warlock is fun, man. You want to get to that special 3, right? And now here's the thing. I didn't try it myself. I tried Warlock a little bit, but I didn't try the strategy myself. Apparently, if you get the Petrify on you by blocking his special 2, Scorpion tries to heal, and then he like power burns from Warlock Sig, which sounds really fun. So Warlock definitely a really solid option. But for Robot, who I actually used was Omega Sentinel. She fits Robot and offensive damage over time. I used a rank 3 unduped Omega Sentinel. Not my favorite champion to use, and this fight really highlighted why. Her debuffs are just very short for my liking. Her pause timer is too short for my liking. That's always been my issue with Omega Sentinel, and I still feel the same way. It's one reason why I personally believe she's a little bit overrated. However, for this fight, she does really well, because she's not immune to the poison, but whenever she gets the poison, she's going to get a regeneration buff, and she bypasses the poison healing reduction. So when you bait his special 1, you block his special 1, you're going to get poisons on you, you're going to get a regen buff, you're going to be regenerating a lot of health. So at the beginning of the fight, you get to your special 3, you hold it, you take 50% of your health off. I actually messed up, got down to like 1% health, and I finished the fight at like 70% health because of all the healing. It was about a 10-minute fight. It was very long. It was very boring, but it was very safe. It was very efficient. Also, if he evades you, you can auto block his evade counter, which is really nice. It's just a very good option for the fight, for fitting both objectives. Now, we're gonna get into 2 very easy fights. I'm talking like these are easy. These are easy options for offensive damage over time. So if you don't have Omega Sentinel, you don't have Warlock, you're not going to use them for Robot, you're going to Ultron, these 2 are so easy. Magneto turns the whole goddamn fight off. Get to your special 3, use your special 3 with 35 or more prowess. He's going to be below 50% health with a rank 3 Magneto, no suicides, no deep wounds on his base. 2 special 3s, fight's over. 70% ability accuracy reduction is going to turn off, 70% chance. Turn off the burst damage when you get to special 3. Turn off the burst damage after you use the special 3. It's going to shut down all of his other abilities. You're going to have a good time. Speaking of that, holy crap, man. Archangel, get to special 3, parry heavy. Don't worry about anything. It's a regular Scorpion fight at that point. Parry heavy, parry heavy, parry heavy. Have a good time. So if you're not going to be using Omega Sentinel or Warlock or X23 or Red Hulk, because they fit offensive damage over time, right? If you're gonna say you want to use like Ultron and like Taskmaster, or let's say you don't care about all the objectives, you just want an easy fight, Archangel and Magneto make this a joke, an absolute joke. It's ridiculous. the difference in difficulty between using Magneto and Archangel and using like X-23 and Red Hulk, it's insane, the difference. So like next week, keep that in mind and remember that when you're going through the boss rush, right? For the 4 champs, for your mutant option, bring Magneto or Archangel 100 billion%. Like, don't even like second guess it. Crazy. It's crazy how they literally just nuke them. So yeah, that is going to be it for this. I don't believe I showed this. These are the other Thunderbolt options, by the way. Man-Thing, Taskmaster, Ghost Rider, Red Hulk, X-23, Luke Cage, Elektra, Iron Patriot, Electro, and Juggernaut. It's a really rough objective, man. Taskmaster could potentially be decent. Man-Thing could potentially be decent. Luke Cage could potentially be decent. It's just a rough objective for sure. In general, the fight's not too bad. Especially if you use like these guys up here, these 4 up here. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop your boy a big ol' like. Let me know what you think about the Scorpion fight in the comment section below. And make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos just like this coming to you in the future. And I'll be seeing you around, man. Scorpion top 10 list. I didn't cover any of it. I didn't cover a single one. Video is 2 seconds long. Good.